Connected and up and running. I think. Did I miss that button there? Did I? No, it's definitely up and running. So, no, you can't see me yet. If there's anyone here, I mean. It does take like half a minute for the stream to go out. So, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and switch over. I might just be sitting here talking to myself. I mean, that's definitely something that can happen. So let's just try to switch it over to the view so you can see me. And there we go. So you should be able to see me. And I can already see that there are five people in the chat room. And so hello to all of you. What do we got here? We got like Samuel, we got Theron, Audio Mike, Audio Dabbler. We got Audio Dabbler, Mitch from the Audio Dabbler. He's got his own YouTube channel. If y'all didn't know that, but he definitely does, and he dabbles with audio, and that's and iPads and stuff. So if you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. But right now, I suggest you stay right here. We also got Dean right there. So hello to all of you and everyone else who might not have, said anything in. Oh my God, I'm sitting here looking at the chat room instead of looking at you. I'm sorry. So hello and welcome. No, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to run the intro first. If I can find the... There we go. And back to me. So hopefully that went out live. We also got Doug Woods here from the sound test room. Always nice to see you. Also Parker Murray just entered the stream, and Icy Ice. I love that name, by the way. Icy Ice. I see why you chose that name. Right. So we also got the Real Dutch jumping in here, and Peace ACR. So I'm going to stop reading names popping up here right now. And I'm just going to get to what we're going to do today. So I recently released a video in where I'm playing this thing. So hopefully I got the audio levels right now. And it's a full patch playing bass, a vocal pad type of thing, a snare drum, which was the hardest thing to actually make in this preset patch. And we're gonna try to recreate something similar as this. I'm probably not gonna get it 100%. I'm probably not gonna get it 50%. Because I sat down for quite some time to build this patch. But we are going to create something similar, and so you can have an idea of how to go about doing something like this. I love it when a synthesizer gives me the ability to build stuff like this. And the only thing I think that KASPAR, someone told me, KASPAR? Do you say KASPAR even though it's clearly spelled with an R? We have the same name in Swedish, and we spell it usually with a K, but we can't spell it with a C, and it always ends with ER, so it's Kasper, or like Casper. Do you say Casper even though it's KASPAR? It's not important. The only thing that I feel that this synthesizer is lacking is a step sequencer, because what I had to do with the snare thing, So the first thing we're going to do is to actually go in and have a look at all the layers in this synthesizer and what they do. So I just want to say again, hello to everyone who has joined up in this stream. And I never said my catchphrase, right? Hello and welcome to attaQ. My name is Jakob. I'm your host, and you're watching a attaQ live episode in where we're going to build a full drum thing patch with bass. And okay, so the first thing here is the bass drum. Hopefully you can hear that. Sounds pretty good. Oh, by the way, if there's anyone here right now watching this, and you think I'm boring, or you think that what I do is boring, you just want to know how to do this, well, I can tell you that I have shared this preset in the description. So anyone who doesn't want to sit here through my slow-paced drooling waiting for me to get to the point, if you just want to have a look at the preset yourself, then go and check in the description box, and you'll find a Dropbox folder, Dropbox link to a Dropbox folder in where you can find a zip package which you can download, unzip it in AudioShare, and then send it through the opening command to KASPAR. You'll also be able to find another preset pack in there, but more about that one later on. So you can go download those if you don't want to watch this now. So the bass drum was fairly simple to make. Yep, sure do love the I'm just stumbling upon my own words here. Right, so it's just a simple bass drum, and to build something like this is very straightforward. And so we're gonna begin by doing that. And we're going to jump between this patch and what we're building. So I thought that would be a good way to go about this. What was I going to do? I was going to create a new one. Let's see here. Initialize patch. And it should be... Yeah, it's initialized. So what we're going to do is to press the plus there, the pen, and just call it Flumba. No, not Flums. Flumba. Boomba. Flumba Boomba. Flumba Boomba. That's a great name. That's a great name right there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to make a bass drum. Very, very simple actually. And so we go to the first layer, and right now we've got a saw waveform. And the first thing I want to do is to change this out to a sine wave. Now you can use a triangular wave or square wave, whatever kind of bass drum sound you want to build. But the trick to making a bass drum is simply to make there are two distinct ways, or a way of actually combining two ways. One way is to make the oscillator jump in pitch. Okay, and the other one is to make the filter self-oscillate at a point where you get a bass note out of the filter. And the third way is to combine those two to make a bass drum. And what we're going to do is try to combine those two. So here we have a sine wave. And the first thing we're going to do, I say the first thing we're going to do a lot, don't I? A lot, yeah. Okay, we go to the modulation section, and in here we're going to start modulating the pitch, and we're going to choose this one that says plus minus, right? And then we're going to use a modulation source, and we're going to use the modulation envelope for this one, right? I'm just going to affect it 100%, and I can't remember if I'm supposed to do it the other way around. We'll notice as we move on with this patch. So the modulation envelope is situated right beside the modulation menu. So this is a very simple thing we have so far. As I said, we're gonna try to make something similar as the patch I already have, and if you want it, you can go download it right away. So this sounds good enough right now. That's just a simple pitched oscillator. And then we go to the filter section, and we're going to load up a pretty sharp filter. So let's use a low pass filter at 24 decibels. And let's control it with the envelope. Let's see now. It's clicking at the end. I'm spinning on the screen. I'm so sorry. And hello everyone who is joining up. I will be checking the chat room later on. But right now we need to tweak some presets. I'm also going to pause the video here because it's probably eating up some of my bandwidth. I don't want to do that. I've seen that some of my videos lag a little bit between, you know, the audio and video. I only have like 11 megabits of upload, and you know, that's why I'm only doing like 720p resolution. Otherwise I would do like 1080p or something like that. Ideal would be in 60 frames per second, but 30 frames per second it's okay. This sounds pretty good. Well, it sounds like a bass drum. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to make this thing play automatically in a 4x4 beat. And the way I did that was basically by going into the arpeggio section. And this is so simple. I do wish, however, that I had a step sequencer, because that way I could make like patterns, different patterns for my bass drum and for my snares and hi-hats and everything like that. I did actually tell Jesse my thoughts on that, but you know, for a developer, they have to evaluate whether it's worth putting in all the time to actually make and produce that extra thing for a synthesizer, because developing also costs money and time. So hopefully we get it, otherwise we won't. Okay, so let's just turn this on. That's way too fast. There we go. But there is another problem. It's changing pitch when we're changing pitch here. And the way I locked mine was by actually not using the live mode. I chose to do a programmed fixed mode. And in this mode, you get to choose what notes it's playing, the arpeggiator. So we're going to go with C2. And it's only going to play C2. Now it's a bit low, so I'm just going to pull this up. And there we go. So now we have a bass drum locked into a tempo and locked into a key, and we can just continue on moving. We can just move on with our preset. So that's how I basically made the bass drum. Now I'm going to save this. The Floomba Boomba, and I will be sharing this one in the description section down below when the stream is done and everything. I'll just put it in that same Dropbox folder. So it's saved. Now we're gonna have a look at the Psytrance sequenced patch again. We have a lot of sounds in here, so let's just have a listen to the next sound. And that's just a hi-hat kind of thing. So that's the next thing we're going to build. So we open up Floomba. Why did I name it Floomba Boomba? Oh, Floomba Boomba. Floomba. It sounds so weird. It doesn't sound natural when I say it. Floomba Boomba. Okay, so let's just do it like this. We turn this one on and we shut the bass drum off. And we have a regular saw wave loaded. We open up synth 2. And the way to do this is basically by just pulling down the volume for all of the oscillators and then just adding the noise volume. And now we only need to filter it properly. So we go to the filter, and what we need now is a high pass filter, so that only the high frequencies passes through the. Okay, so Floomba. Let's see here. Ed B says it sounds naughty. What do you mean, like Floomba Boomba? It sounds. Does it sound Floomba? Floomba Boomba. Floomba. Floomba Boomba. Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does. I don't know. I can't hear myself. I can't hear what you're hearing right now. I hope I didn't kill anyone's ears by that. So let's choose a high pass filter, and let's go with an analog high pass filter. Now, we don't need to lock this one into a key, because the pitch of the noise isn't, or the color of the noise isn't being controlled by the keyboard pitch. So we don't need to lock it in. We only need to tell the arpeggiator to play it double time. And we'll do that soon. I just need to get the envelope right too. So we go to the amplifier envelope. And there we have a hi-hat. And then we just need to go to the arpeggiator, turn on the arpeggiator. And it's at right tempo. It's got the right tempo right away. And together with the bass drum. Hey! Now we got something going here. So let's save Flumba Boomba. Flumba Boomba. This is definitely one live stream. I'm not gonna go back and check, you know? Okay, so let's have a look at the sidetrans. Now we are going to recreate the most difficult thing. And I cannot tell you how much time. Well, I could probably calculate it. Okay, so the patch took about 1.5 hours to build, I think. About 1.5 hours. And then I probably spent half an hour or more on this snare alone, just to get it to play on the second beat. Okay? We don't have a step sequencer here. We have an arpeggiator. So I had to get tricky with the LFO. And the LFO kind of, it's hard to explain. Okay? It's hard to explain. You see, the cycle of the LFO it's supposed to be synced and locked, but it does move around and shuffle sometimes. So sometimes the snare will end up on 1 on instead of 2. Like that. And now it's right again. So when I recorded my video, I had to sit there and press the key repeatedly before it actually ended up syncing correctly. So yeah, it was really tricky. So let's go back to no, let's not do that. We're going to go in here and we're going to go into the layers. Solo this one, I know it's number 10. Now this sound is built out of 2 sounds. So it's kind of like the hi-hat sound we just produced, and then it's got a body in there. Which is very simple to make also. So that's what we're going to do now. Open up we open up Flumba Boomba. I just had to do that, didn't I? I had to name it like that. And we're going to put this one right there. Let's just save it right away. I don't know if I did. Yeah. Okay. So we go into the layer. No, we don't. Do we? Okay. That's good. Turn this off. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is I'm gonna just pull down on the volume and up the noise. But we want this to be a snare, so we'll put the tone of the noise about there. We're also gonna use a bandpass filter to shape our sound a little bit. And now we need to create the body. So we turn down the noise. I always do this to A/B what I'm doing. I always build like the high frequency stuff when I'm doing snares first, and then I build the body stuff. Basically the body of the snare. And we need it to be not a pulse but a square, and we can force the pulse to be a square if we just pull the pulse width / timbre. Well, in this case it is pulse width. And there we got a square waveform. Right? And now we need to put a filter in here. So let's choose something sharp. A precision bandpass filter. and shape it using the envelope instead of just doing it like the conventional way. Can't remember how I did this. Might be using the wrong filter. Yeah, it's definitely too loud. Yeah. As I said, I sat with this snare for 45 minutes or more before I got the sound right, and then also the LFO thing. So I'm not going to tweak too much on this one. I'm not liking... I am not liking that. I'm not liking that at all. Let's try to do a pitch on that first thing there. On the first, so I'm inside the modulation menu, and I've chosen pitch +1, and we're gonna go and choose the modulation envelope. Maybe choose 7, pitch 7. What does this sound like, really? Yeah, I'm not liking it, but we can't keep on tweaking on this for too long. Doesn't sound right. But here we can hear that we have that same problem as we had with the bass drum. So it changes pitch while we're playing it. And so we need to fix this because it's going to autoplay as soon as we press down one finger using the arpeggiator. So we turn this on, and then we go from the live mode and we go and choose the program fixed one, and then choose note C3. And there we have it. Here comes the really hard thing. Okay, let's get this Floomba Woomba right now. It's way too fast. And we actually need to keep it at this speed, I think. I think this is how I did it, okay? So I need to keep it at double time. But now we're going to try to use the LFO to actually bring the volume down for the noise, and this is... So let me just show you what I did here. So I'm going to choose the where is it? Noise volume, voice amp, yeah, okay, the voice amp. So basically this is the amplification control for all of the sound coming out, and we're gonna choose to control that with LFO2. And we start getting this stutter thing, okay? All right. I'm bringing up the volume. I realize it's quite low. It doesn't sound right, right? Right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Ah, where am I going with this? We need to make the LFO turn it off at 1 and 3. And so that sound will only go out on 2 and 4. Okay, so into the edit menu, into the LFO, press sync on, no, we choose LFO 2, so we're gonna press sync here. And there's one thing more we need to do. We need to turn this waveform into a square waveform, because that way it will either be on or off, up or down, maximum value, minimum value. So let's do that. We choose pulse. And since it is a pulse, then it's not a square waveform. It's a bit offset, as it looks like right here. Can you see that actually? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you should be able to see that. That's not right. You see how hard this is? Okay, so let's see what happens now. You see? Okay, so we need to offset this in some way to make it play correctly. Wait, are we using the right speed for this? Let's see here. Oh, that's right. So the arpeggio needs to be at 4 notes. Okay, right now the BPM is also at 120 BPMs, but all of this will change depending on the BPM. It's all locked to the BPM. We're starting to get there. Samuel says turn off the continuous mode for the LFO and choose and control the phase. But the thing is, we only have trig or shot, and these don't work for that, Samuel. I tried it so many times, I just couldn't get it to work. Maybe I need to try more, but I found the only way I could do this was to use the continuous that it just continues. So I'm gonna choose trig now. So let's see if maybe I just got it wrong when I was sitting, you know, tweaking it by myself. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm trying to shift the phase so that it will play correctly, just as Samuel says here in the chat. Because this is how I normally would do it with another synthesizer. But as I said, the LFO is a bit weird. Did you manage to do this, Samuel? Samuel is creating a drum beat as we speak. What am I doing wrong, Samuel? Okay, what I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, I got it in continuous now. And this works, so I'm gonna use that. But we'll have to chat it up, Samuel, on Twitter or something, so you can give me the details on how you do it. And yeah, Doug Woods says, this so needs a step sequencer. Yes, that's one of the things I love with Propellerhead's Thor. But with Thor, you only have 3 oscillators to work with. With KASPAR, you have 8 layers, each of the layers containing 3 oscillators, and they each have a noise generator. That's a lot of sounds you could create like that. So can we like go with this? This is probably like this is good enough right now. Yeah, that works. So right now we have a bass drum, we have a snare, and we have a hi-hat. Now we're gonna work on the bass. So let's turn these off. Let's save this preset. And Floomba Boomba is saved. And we're gonna load Psytrance sequence again. And then we're gonna have a listen to the bass. And the cool thing with the bass is that like the notes changes depending on where you play it, but everything else stays in that, you know, not everything, but the drums doesn't change pitch and stuff like that. I mean, it's a cool patch, right? It's such a cool patch. So what we need to do is to go back into Flumba Boop. Oh. I so regret that name right now. Okay. Let's continue on doing this. My headphones are broken. Okay, so the notches that are supposed to hold these, whatever they're called, the things holding the actual speaker things, they're broken. So if I don't use a headband, then the phones will do like that, and they won't stay attached to my ears. And I just can't. I can't really afford getting a new pair right now, so I kind of have to do it like this. And even if I did get a new pair, I love these headphones so much. I don't want to. I just couldn't bring myself to do away with them, because, you know, I'll probably just fix them in some. I'll most likely just glue them stuck. You know, glue them into place. So why are we not hearing anything? Oh, that's because we turned off all of these sounds. We're gonna turn on this channel. And here we have a saw waveform. Let's go to the edit mode. And the first thing we're going to do is to jump the first thing. This must be like the 60th. That's the wrong one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so what we need to do here is to go to the filter and choose a 70s low pass filter. I really like the sound of that filter. Let's raise the volume for this one. Right, okay, so we go to the ARP section, and in this case we want to go with the live mode. And we can actually, you know, stay there, but let's layer this one up with another oscillator. Turn this one down. Yeah, that's fine for this. We turn the other layers on. The face is wrong. But the BPM, my headphone is just sliding down. Oh, hello everyone who has joined up recently. I hope I'm not boring you with my weirdness. There's a lot of weirdness going on. So the BPM definitely needs to go up just a little bit. So let's put that at 135 BPMs. Oh, I can just go on jamming like this like all night. Right, so there are some more elements that builds up this patch to actually give it a feeling. And of course, we don't have any effects loaded right now, but I'm doing that with a purpose, just so that you can clearly see and hear what it is that I've done or doing, so that you can make something similar. And if you do, then please, hit me up on either Facebook or Twitter and tell me about it, and just, record a little video. It doesn't have to be the most perfect audio. It doesn't matter. Just show me what you're doing, because I love seeing it. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to save Flumba Boomba. Why did okay, I'm gonna rename this into something easier to say. So saved it, and now I'm gonna rename it. I'm not gonna call it Flumba Boomba. I'm gonna call it Shilnoktik Moknoktik. Shilnoktik Moknoktik. Yeah, that's better. So much better than Shlumba Boomba. Flumba. Oh. Okay. Actually, it looks kind of hard to read. So let's go to the psytrance. Yeah. And what we're going to have a look at right now is going into the layers, and we're going to solo out. What is it? Is it this one and this one? I'm going to save the boring one for last. There is one thing in here. It's just boring. And so you see, KASPAR, this synthesizer also has a formant filter, which is brilliant, because I love formant filters, and that's how I created it. And the best way of creating presets that sound very vocally is by using like saw waveforms, basically, and running them through formant filters. Any other waveform could work, but as long as it's close to a saw waveform, because it's more likely to sound like a human voice more than anything else. Just try it out. As soon as you choose like a square waveform, it will stop sounding like a voice, and it will sound more like a bass, like a bass sound. And since I said the bass, then here we go. And there he goes. Look at him go. It's quite quick, that one. Still haven't fixed the outlines on that fist though. Need to do something about that. Maybe put like a glow around it. Yeah, maybe a glow. I'm working on actually animating the bass. I've decided to make the bass. I'm not gonna run it again. I've decided to make the bass a sidekick for the show. Someone who will do something similar as an old friend that I used to use back in the startup of attaQ, but a bit more. Yeah, he's a bit more fishy than the other one was. So to create something like this, we need to go back into Shilnoktik Moknokt Shilnoktik Moknok. Okay, so we've got it loaded, and we're going to turn these off. Wait, we're gonna turn this one off. Just work it with one oscillator at a time. And as you saw, I was using two layers to build that patch. Basically, one is pitched down with one, and the other one is pitched up. So we can basically make this on the same layer. So let's just do that. I really didn't need to use all the 8 layers for making the preset, but simply did it because I could, and that's all there is to it. So we got a saw waveform. We go directly to the filter, and wait, we're in the wrong one. Synth number 5. There we go. Let's just solo this one out. Yeah, it's the right one. So we go to the filter, and in here we're gonna choose the formant filter. Hello everyone new that joins up. Hey, we got oh, there's so many people here. We got Eric Ross, Luke Williams, Bo Beats from Bo Beats, Bo from Bo Beats. Kalle Kempe, my old friend from my old hometown. What are you doing up so late? I almost said. Why would I say something like that? He's one of the smartest people I know, Kalle Kempe, by the way. We got Christian Cepino. We don't need to do too much here. What I basically did was I started modulating this using an LFO. So that's what we're gonna do. So filter frequency, and we choose LFO number 1, and we're gonna go to the LFOs, and in LFO 1 what I did was I chose this random or thing. I could have just used the sample and hold because that's cool too, but random soft, little bit too fast. Let's sync that. Not random soft. Was it hard? Yeah, that sounds about right. There we go, and we're also going to fix a little bit with the free filter resonance. So we're in the modulation menu again, and we've chosen the filter resonance, and we're going to send... we can try sending the same LFO to it, but the best thing to do here is actually to use another LFO with a different speed setting, so that way you'll get more variation in your sound. Let's give it a value. I actually like that. And here we have a problem. So this one doesn't need to be arpeggiated. This one is supposed to be like a pad thing. It's not really a pad, but it's gonna be something that fills out like a Vox thing. Instead of strings, I use this. Instead of a pad, I use this. It basically just becomes a pad because I'm adding some fat, heavy reverb on it. Big and wet. I like my reverbs big and wet. I like that. Okay, so when we're playing our patch, we don't want this to be polyphonic. We want it to just be note by note, so monophonic. So the first thing we have to do is just to turn off the polyphonic mode up here. And we can either use a legato mode or not. It doesn't really matter for this one. And another thing to actually make a vocal patch sound a little bit more vocal is to use noise. And when we turn all of this on, come on, just sync it up now. And you, as I did with the other one, I didn't have this pad thing turned up too high. Basically because I just put some really wet reverb on it just to have it fill out the background. And we're gonna listen to that when we go back for the last sound. So what we can do now, I don't want to recreate this, but we can actually use the second Yeah, let's use the layer number 6. We can do this simply because in the last stream I did with KASPAR with this synthesizer, I didn't realize that you could actually just copy a thing you were doing inside a synth when you're working inside a preset. I didn't realize that. I had to be told by, I can't remember who it was, I'm sorry, but someone in the chat told me, and I was going on about that, complaining about that for a little while before I realized that you can do it. So the way you do that is by holding down and long pressing, and you get this window. And this way you can also load stuff into a synthesizer from other presets, which is cool. But more about that later on. So I'm going to copy this patch and go to the synth number 6 and paste this one. And we're simply just going to go into the oscillator of number 6 here. Solo this one out. Like that. Just put up the... what it's called. And another thing we can do just to create a stereo effect, go into the layer mode and then pan this one all the way to the right and this one all the way to the left. But right now they've got the same kind of modulation. So all we need to do is to go into edit mode again, to synth number 6, go into the modulation window, and then we just reverse the order of the dials here for the second synth. So this one is at -73. Let's do it like that, and this one -20. And now we've got two different things, and then we just need to pull down on the level. Kind of like that. So, there we go. Let's turn these off. Let's save our whatever it was called, Shilnoctic Moknoctic. Hey, that's easier to say than never mind. Okay, so let's save this one like that. And how many sounds left do we have that we're supposed to make? I need to check here. Right, okay. So I know what sound we need to make. Let's save this again, and we're gonna go into the psytrance patch. So if we listen to this pad thing again. Yeah, you can hear that stereo separation, and a lot of things happen. As you can see, I've got the FX turn up quite high, around 75, and that FX chain for FX2 is basically just a compressor compressing the signal in just to keep it all locked, and then an equalizer to remove some bass, and then a delay and a reverb on that. Big and wet as I like it. And that's all basically. But what's interesting is this layer right here. So that's a wind type sound, and as you might have already guessed this is so simple to make. So we go into I think I'm gonna rename this again because I find I find it a bit hard to say. So let's choose the name. Let's make it even simpler. Let's just call it, one of my most favorite characters from Star Trek. Let's just call it, how do you spell it? Like Quark? I don't know how to spell that, but Quark works well. So let's call it Quark. And Quark makes no sound. He's usually very talkative. especially when it comes to profit. No, what? Oh, that's right. So we've got a layer 7, and we're almost done with this patch. But I've got more for you. I mean, I got something more for you. So as soon as we're done with this, I'm gonna get into that. I forgot what I was going to do. Yes, I was going to create the wind thing, wind thing, thing. Ed wants me to rename Quark back to Flumba Boomba. So when I'm done with this stream, I am gonna share this preset 2 times. Okay, 2 times I'm gonna share this preset. One of them is gonna be called Quark, and the other one is gonna be called Flumba Boomba. Right? It's the same preset. It's gonna be the same thing, but I'll just do that since Ed seems to like that name so much. You know, and I'm all about pleasing, you know, so that made that sound so very weird, but don't overthink it. Come on now. So we need some noise to this. We're gonna turn down the volume for the oscillator 1. That is usually loaded in default mode. That looks much better. And this looks really greasy. Yeah. You're doing so well, Jakob. You're doing so well. Okay, so let's see now. Oh, crap. Did I? Oh, don't tell me I messed up. Okay, okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I had the wrong one chosen as usual. I'm in the wrong one, so let's go to synthesizer number 7. Pull down the volume for that one. Didn't I just turn this one off? Yeah, there we go. And then turn up the noise. Now, it would have been nice to be able to actually modulate the noise tone. This is digital noise, by the way. It's not the regular like analog type noise. You can clearly hear like the digital effect. It really sounds like a digital noise for me. It sounds a bit like bit crushed. Let me just raise the volume here. Raise it up. So we're gonna pull the NS tone and in full mode, and we're gonna control the noise, the color of this sound, of this wind wave thing with the filter. So let's go in here and let's choose the bandpass at 12 decibels. Yeah, kind of like that. So we're going to use that. And now we just need to go into the modulation section and actually make this modulate. So let's choose to modulate the filter frequency using LFO 1. Go into the LFO section. And we're going to use the sine wave because, you know, it's got a... Yeah. Do we want to sync this? Maybe not. I mean, I kind of like it when some of the sounds inside a preset like this doesn't really stick to the BPM, but yeah, let's just sync it. And the reason we're not hearing anything is because I forgot to pull up on this. That's way too fast. I don't like that we have a continuous sound in there, so can we... Yeah, we can... Can we? The, where is it? It's the voice the voice, we can control that. So let's do that. Voice amp with LFO 1. Okay, it's almost way too fast still. Let's just unsync it. Yeah, something like that. And it sounds a bit dry, but it's gonna sound better with effects on it. We are gonna put some minor effects on this thing. And there we have a problem, because the noise just keeps on, you know, what we want the noise to do is to be continuous. I don't want it to switch notes or anything like that. I don't want it to restart. And what we can do in this instant for that, how did I solve that? How did I solve that? I can't remember how I solved that. How did I do that? Let's save Quark here and go into Psytrance sequence and actually check out how I did that, because I can't remember. How am I doing this? How am I doing this? You see, sometimes I just do things and I can't even remember how to do that. So Christian asks if KASPAR has MIDI CC learn. Yes, Christian, it does. That's the way I was able to control. Just sorry for just getting off topic here a bit. It's not off topic. What am I talking about? But if we check this thing, then we can see that I'm controlling iRig pads here. Okay, so I've got them right there. And I've got them mapped to the filter frequency knob of the bass synth. So that's how I'm able to turn on and off the modes for it. And also I'm using a knob on the iRig pads. You can't see it because it's way too dark. I regretted not putting lamps into this one, but it looks kind of cool with these four. Well, they're initially 4 lamps lit on that thing, but one of them I'm using to control how the filter is being affected, either by knobbing it. Oh my god, not knobbing it. Either by the envelope or the conventional way with knobs. And I'm just turning that function off and on using one of the buttons on my iRig pads controller, and I map those inside the settings. I can show you where to map them, but I don't have maybe I can do that. Yeah, maybe I can. I'll try to do a quick one if the stream doesn't go on for too long. I've already streamed for an hour. I was thinking at tops 2, so I might have time to do that. But yes, you can map CC in this. Right. How am I doing this? I'm probably doing... Oh. So I've got poly turned off and legato on. That's probably it. Isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so let's get back into Quark here. Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. So I've turned off poly and I've turned on legato. And that way... the note doesn't restart. Now it's doing exactly what we want. So there's only one last sound that we need to do, and it's a sub bass. That's all it is, a sub bass, and that's why I said it was boring, because you will hardly hear it. But I'll still make it, because you know it was in the patch. Save this one again. I'm doing that because I'm nervous. I don't want to lose anything. And I saw that Joe entered earlier, so hello Joe if you're there, and hello everyone else that might be watching. So let's turn this on, and all we need to do is to swap out. Not in this one, in synth number 8, the last layer. So we need to swap out the saw waveform to a sine waveform. Right there. I'm gonna turn up the volume. And that's it. Just pull it down 1 or 2 octaves and there you have a bass. And what I did was I just mixed it down very low so that it just fills out the bottom of the track. Okay, I'm gonna raise that a little bit. That's what it sounds like. I think you can hear this one. And there we have basically a track and something you can perform live. The only thing you need to do is to count the beats. Because I did that in the video. I'm playing and then I'm just dropping the note and everything stops, which is very cool. And then just get into it again. So there we go. Save it. And there. And I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna save it as Floomba Boomba since Ed wanted it so much. Floomba Boomba with an H. Okay? Now I have 2 of these. Quark and Floomba Boomba. So we're gonna use Quark here. And what we're going to do now is just try to add some effects. And we're gonna choose to send, let's see here, the pad and the noise to the same channel. I'm sending them to channel number 2. Turn on delay. Filter out the bottom. I don't like the equalizer. And let's go to the reverb. Pull down on the early reflections. I don't like early reflections. I hardly use them. And right now I think that the noise is a bit too loud. There we go. And now we're gonna create an FX for the drums, basically. So all we need to all we need to do is to turn on this. We turn on these, off these ones. I'm not gonna send the bass drum in there right now. Let's send the bass in there too. Turn up this a little bit. Whoa, okay. Let's turn down. Well, turn that one on, and there we go. Come on, sync up. Sync up. And if we look at the clock, then it took about an hour to make this. About an hour to make a preset like this. And then I'm sitting and talking to you. So now I've done it once already. So it's going to go faster and faster every time I redo it. But I can imagine if you sit an hour yourself and build something like this, you're probably going to make something crazy with it. Getting a bit of a dry throat there. So... There we go. Okay, I'm gonna save this as Quark. Now Floomba Boomba isn't gonna have any effects on it, but at least Ed, you'll get it if you still want it like that. I will be putting these as downloads. Now, if you haven't noticed yet, I did put a download link for the Psytrance sequenced preset down in the description box. And also, I put another preset in there, this one. And this is just a bank of bass drums. So there's 8 different types of bass drums in there. And they're all automated, and they will play a 4 on the floor beat in whatever tempo you put it into. And what I've done is, when you open it up, they should be all muted. So let's have a listen to this. Is that loud enough? Let's just pull it up here a little bit so you can hear the different bass drums. That's one of them. Hopefully you can hear them. Mute that one. Open this one up. That's another type of bass drum. And open this one up. There's yet another one. Here's another one. And here's another one. I kind of like this. And here's another one. Raising the volume a little bit so you can hear it. And here's another one. A bit muffled, softer. And here's the number 8 and final. And so you can either sample these into whatever DAW you might like, or sample these as waveforms, send it to Bilbao in Gadget or BM3, or you can just use them to build your own presets inside KASPAR, inside this synthesizer. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do something cool here. We're going to choose one of these, and we're going to choose number 5 here. Okay, we want number 5 in a new preset, and this is why I love this so much. So we're gonna make an initialized preset, and we're gonna save it as cucumbert. Is that how you spell it? I don't think you spell it like that, but that's cucumbert. Let's just call it Q. That's another one of my most favorite characters in Star Trek. Comes off a bit as an ass, but it's quite funny. So there we have it, Q. Omnipotent beyond reason. So what we're going to do now is something really cool. So we are going to go to synthesizer 1, and here we're going to long press, and we're going to go down into the list. This is the list of all the presets in here, and we're going to open up haQ attaQ, and we're going to go down to the bass drum bank, press that one, and then it's going to ask us which of the sub patches we want to load. Now we want to load number 5, so we're going to go with number 5. And we can't hear anything because I'm an idiot. Let's unmute that. And here we have that bass drum. Now for the next one, I want the snare from the preset we've been working on. So we're gonna go into Quark and load number 2. I meant to do that. I wanted the hi-hat to be on number... Let's just go to synthesizer 3 and load up the snare from Quark. Number 3. There we go. So this is fun. When you've actually started building your own sounds and you're using multiple layers, then suddenly you have an arsenal of sound to just pull from when you want to make new patches and presets. That's one thing I really, really like about this synthesizer. So let's pull down on this one. And for the next one, let's load something different. So synth number 4, we're gonna long press here. We're gonna go into the arc bank. This is something I'm working on. It's gonna be a bank of something. I'm not done yet. I basically just done a bunch of Reese bassline kind of things, and it's basically the same sound, only since there are 8 layers of everything, it's kind of a chore doing some things. You know, you could just load the Reese template I've done here and then add all those changes I've done, but it takes some time since there are 8 layers, and you know, you have to do it by hand. So I basically just made several of them. So we're gonna load a Reese jump, and we're gonna load number 1, go to synth number 5 and go into Reese jump and load number 2. And then we're gonna go to synth number 7 and go into Reese jump and take number 3 and synth number 8, long press and load Reese number 4. That's pretty nice. So imagine what you can do when you have a lot of presets loaded like this. I mean, it's so easy to just pull and pick stuff from each and every preset you have just to make something new. So that's funny. Funny? That's fun. That's fun, I guess. Right. Okay. Now, where was I? So I've shown how to do that, and of course you can download the bass bank down in the description, and you can download the other preset, and as soon as the live stream is over, and the video comes up, you know, after YouTube has processed it and everything, I will be adding I will be adding the presets I've made inside this episode, except from Q, because I don't find Q that interesting. Now I've gotten a request from Jesse over at KASPAR, over at Yonac, asking me if I wanted to do some preset. I haven't answered him yet. I gotta go answer him as soon as I'm done live streaming. If I can make some presets. And of course I am building a preset set for it, so I'm probably gonna make it. I'm gonna talk to him as soon as my presets are done, which is gonna take time, you know, 8 layers and everything, and I really like being thorough when making presets. I want them to be interesting. I don't want to make bland stuff. So it's gonna take time, but as soon as I'm done, I'm hoping that maybe we can make it so that anyone who has who has the synthesizer can just update the synth with the new presets or something like that, so you won't have to go around downloading from links and everything. And of course, as soon as I'm done with the bank, Patreons get it first, and they can try it out and stuff like that. So I always do that. No, I haven't uploaded these to Patreon. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add a bank to the Patreon page with the Reese presets. If any Patreons is here now, if you are, then you'll be able to grab them later on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna bring in this little thing. This is the puck Plus. I am gonna review this. This is my vacation, and I can't start working on a deep video right now because I need the off time, and that's why I'm doing these live streams, because it doesn't take that much pre-work for me to get this going. Everything is all basically set up, so I just have to be here. I have to have a good topic, and I have to, just do the thing. With the show things, I need at least 8 hours per day to just work on a video, so you'll have to wait for the review. But I'm gonna use this to connect to KASPAR. KASPAR? Never mind. And I have to leave for just 2 seconds to go grab the iRig. Sorry for that, but I've got the iRig pads controller here, and I just wanted to show you how simple it is to map stuff, since, was it Christian who asked about that? Just wanted to show how easy it is. So I'm just going to connect this up, and you'll have to wait for a proper video in where I'm doing this and when I'm showing you the puck and its capabilities. It's a Bluetooth MIDI device that also has a DIN5 MIDI port. So I'm just going to use that to wirelessly connect to my iPad Pro here, and so that we can map some CCs inside KASPAR. So let's do this. Turn this on. We're going to go into preferences. I've got this thing on right now. And we're going to go into, where is it? MIDI settings, Bluetooth MIDI. And there we go. We have the puck connected. Right. That's good. That's good. And here we have the iRig pads controller. And I'll just show you. So it's sending MIDI in here right now. And what we need to do is to go to preferences, go back, go to MIDI learn. And when we press MIDI learn, we get this thing here. Okay. So let's say that I wanted to go into the, what are there any switches here that I can just use for the layer? Yeah, here. Okay, so I want to map one of these pads to control the soloing of something. Then I just press that, and now it glows red. And then I just do that, and it says 104. That's good. Okay, good. That's MIDI channel 3. Okay, it's the channel down here, and it's the number up here, the control, I think. So now we've got that mapped. I don't know if the pads are working in momentary right now, but all we need to do now, when we're done mapping, we just need to press on MIDI learn again. And now when I press this, you see I'm pressing the pad, and it's when I'm pressing the pad here, it glows red, and the solo goes on and off and on and off and off and on, and it's all wireless. It's all wireless, Bluetooth wireless. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But as I said, you're gonna hear more about the puck Plus and where I got it from and everything. It's kind of a cool device. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. After my vacation is over, I will do a proper video on that. There will also be some more videos coming up. I think I'm pretty done with what I wanted to do for the live stream. Now, if you have any questions I'll just stay up here for a little bit more, and so you can ask me questions if there's anything you're wondering about. If there's anything you're wondering about KASPAR. If you're wondering anything about the synthesizer, so just ask away. In the meantime, I'm gonna do some weird stuff. By the way, the preset that I made in the last streaming session, haQ attaQ Live episode 15, where we were just doing sound design and where I was showing you how to make this type of pad thing with 8 layers. I made a preset called Prut Mood, and you can also download Prut Mood if you go back to that video and check in the description box. Then you can find a link to a Dropbox folder with a zipped file with Prut Mood in it, so you can download that one too if you want. You know, my girlfriend, she doesn't like when I do it sounds that, you know, rising sounds and rises. She hates that. She's kind of, we're the opposite of each other, and you know about this already. If you're a grown person, you know about this, that you are mostly attracted to someone that is the opposite of yourself. So me, I'm all like ADHD, crazy, just going all in, not thinking, reacting to everything. My girlfriend, on the other hand, she's more like an Ent. More like an Ent from Lord of the Rings. And I love Ents. Those are my most favorite characters in Lord of the Rings. Not Gollum, the Ents. The Ents are just, wonderful, awesome beings. And they make these creaky sounds when they walk. I want to creak like, no, I don't want to creak like that. If my knees started creaking like that, there would probably be something wrong with them. But she's the opposite of me. So she doesn't like rising sounds. I love it. I love that. But it stresses her out. But she loves this. And I absolutely do not like that. That stresses me out. Because it for me, it's almost like a heartbeat stopping or something like that. It stresses the hell out of me. Why did I talk about that? I don't know. I'm trying to fill out time since I'm waiting to see if maybe someone has any questions for me. If you do, so GSM 909 joined in an hour late. Yes, you did, but we're still here going. I mean, we basically finished with the topic of everything, but you can always go back and watch it. Hopefully, I tried to make the episode interesting, and I think we managed to create something cool. Yeah, that's let's see here. You've got a nice chat going on there. I like that. I like that. Can you show the morph section of KASPAR? The morph, yeah. Okay, so here's the morph section. The reason why I'm not in here too much is basically because we discovered that it basically works on volume. Yeah, I was hoping for something more, like, I was hoping, for something completely different. So, if we do this, if we open up, we make an initialize preset. And we pull down on the volume. And so we have 8 synthesizers, right, inside in 8 layers. It's basically 8 synthesizers with 3 oscillators and a noise generator each. And they can all be grouped to 4 different groups. And the groups are A, B, C, and D. And then you have A, B, C, and D. And then you can have this morphing move around between them. And I was thinking that it might be working like attaQ, but it sounds like attaQ does more than just volume between waveforms. I'm not sure. This one sounds like it's switching around volume. So what we're going to do to make this apparent is to go into edit mode, choose synth number 1. We've got that one loaded right now, and this one has saw waveforms. Synth number 2, we are going to load up a square. We're making a square right there. In synth number 3, we're gonna have a what do we have, like this waveform, waves basically. And in synth number 4, we're gonna load oops, wrong page. We're gonna load a sine waveform. So in synth number 1 we have a saw. Synth number 2 we have a pulse. Synth number 3 we have a waves 2, and synth number 4 we have sine. So now we have 4 different waveforms in 4 synthesizers. So synth number 1 with the saw waveform is assigned to group A, and then the second one that has the square waveform is assigned to group B, and group C for the, what was it, the waves one, and the sine wave in the last one for D. So the 4 synthesizers, 4 layers in 4 different groups now. And we're gonna try to make this, we'll turn the morph on up on the X so we can see this moving. Okay, I just need to do this. So you can hear them move between the different waveforms. Isn't this how attaQ really works? And then you have a speed for this. And we can up the Y coordinate. So it will move like in a circle, and let's move it around quickly. Let's move it a little bit more. So this way you can get some interesting sounds. But I haven't worked too much with this because at the beginning I didn't realize what I was doing wrong. But what I did discover later on was that I was using kind of like the same waveforms in all of the oscillators, and not much happens then, you know. But if you're using different waveforms, then it's going to be more apparent. But I usually don't work like that when making my presets. I will now though, when I'm building the preset bank. Now the most interesting thing here is I'm going to turn this down. Turn this on, and we're going to turn the auto on. And we have a write mode. So press write and do this. Okay? And it will move in that pattern. And you can keep on writing. And it will keep on moving in that pattern. So read speed up. And you can do stuff like this. Okay, let's just erase that and do this. And right now we got it in forward and back mode, so we can also turn it to backwards, and it will just move backwards and forwards. And one shot, which is pretty cool. And then it will stay there, and that's pretty cool when you're making like especially dubsteppy things. That's when I would like to use something like that. However, I would love to be able to send something like this to filters and stuff. That's what I would like to do. That would like increase the value of the synthesizer even more. So I will be experimenting with this. So when I'm done with my preset bank, I'm probably gonna use this quite more. Yeah. Joe O'Hagan says it's like Kiev in Core Gadget. Yep. Ed asks, does flumba boomba mean anything in Swedish? No, it actually doesn't. It's just It's just my mind finding weird words. I wish it meant something. Maybe I could make it mean something. I'll think about that until the next live stream. And if I come up with something that it could mean in Swedish, then I'll say it then. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm checking the stream here to see. Ed Miller asks, you can have an 8-layer preset inside of an 8-layer preset. No, that's not how it works. How it works, Ed, is that you've got 8 layers, and when you long press on one of the synths and you go and check inside the preset section, then within those presets you have 8 layers that you can load one of the layers into the layer you're currently in, basically. So it's not like you're adding another layers into a layer. You're just loading one layer from a preset. So that's basically what it is. Hope that answers your question. Samuel says that you can try my crazy patch on the AB forum. So apparently Samuel has uploaded the preset he's been working on the Audiobus forum that I definitely recommend if there are any beginners here. It's a great place. I'm there, but I don't spend too much time there right now. I'm on vacation. I try to answer some questions. That's why I'm a bit slow answering questions on YouTube too. So yeah, but the Audiobus forum is really, really great, and there's a lot of people that will help you if you're a beginner there too. Also, the iPad musician group on Facebook if you got a Facebook account, and then don't forget to follow people like Tim Webb from Discord, Doug Woods from Sound Test Room. If you're into hardware synths and stuff, then you should definitely check out Tatro and Bow Beats. And if you're into like beat making and stuff, Accurate Beats, there are also some great other great IO sources like Music App Log by John Walden, and then you got iPad loops, you got there's so many right now. Also Mitch the Audio Dabbler on YouTube, he makes videos. So there's a bunch of people to check out. I'm gonna have to go, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna check if there's anything else. Let's see here. Speaking of MIDI Learn, how awesome is the new Elastic Learn? Yeah, for elastic drums. Honestly, I haven't had time to check it out. Since it is my vacation, I have to be very selective with my time and what I'm doing, but I'm gonna have a look at everything that I've missed so far when I get back, basically. I mean, I'm here, it's not like I'm gone, but I really need the free time. I really do. I will be live streaming again, maybe one day next week, but I probably won't upload any big videos. There will be some Twitter quickies, and I will also upload a compilation of the Twitter quickies. If there is anyone here not following me on Twitter for some reason and you want to see those anyway, I do make compilations of them and put them up here on YouTube, so I will do that. Otherwise, everything will get back to normal as soon as I'm kind of not on vacation, basically. So yeah, I'm gonna end the live stream here, and I hope that this was worth your time. And I want to thank all of you for coming. So thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for keeping the chat room alive. And thank you for just being here and having fun together with me. I really appreciate that a lot. Okay, so yeah, what was I gonna say? I've also got a Patreon page, so if you want to support creativity and if you consider this being good content and you want to support good content here on YouTube, then why not sign up on Patreon? It's one of the best way to do it, actually. If you don't want to do Patreon, then I've also got a PayPal me link. And it's also down in the description because it's not in view right now. I always forget to put it in there, but it's there. If you don't want to do Patreon or YouTube and stuff like that, then remember that vloggers and bloggers, YouTubers and people within, doing this mobile music making, we're usually Apple affiliates. So the links we have in our descriptions and on our blog posts, usually we get a little, we get a percentage of the sales of apps. So it's not anything being taken from the developer. Well, it is being taken from the developer. If you consider that the developers has to pay taxes and also pay Apple for being on Apple's system that is kind of half broken and mixes up synthesizers together with Spotify for some stupid reason. Apple just grinds my gears sometimes. But we get a percentage for selling apps for Apple, basically. So if you want to support someone and you don't want to do this whole Patreon and PayPal thing, then you can always just buy an app through the app link when you want to support someone, and that will be help too. If you don't want to do that, then you can always share my videos and press the thumbs up under the videos if you think that they deserve it, of course. And that's pretty much it. Now stay tuned. I will be announcing when the next live stream is, and of course I will put up the presets we've been making in this episode, this live stream, down in the description as soon as the video goes up and YouTube is done with it. Whatever it does. What? Yeah. On a personal note, I had a boat ride quite recently, and that was nice. I'll probably post a picture on Twitter. You should really follow me on Twitter if you don't. If you don't have an account, create one. Follow me there. And I'll put up a picture of that boat. If you like boats. I mean, I like boats. It's a steamboat, by the way. Yeah, that's right. It's a steamroller. No, it's not a steamroller. It doesn't have a roll in the back, but it is a steam engine. Yeah. Yep. That old plup, 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 that sound. I just love it. Actually, you can't hear it when you're sitting where we were sitting. All you can hear are the waves and everything, but it was such a nice time, like just so lovely. And I took some pictures, and I'll put up some pictures on my Twitter, maybe on Facebook and everything. So have a really nice day, evening, wherever you are, whatever the time might be. As usual, I wish you a very productive week. Now go finger all of your stuff and have a lot of fun doing it. And now I'm gonna oddly look for the stop streaming button. Where is it? Come on. No, not that one. That's the bass. Come on. Oh, yeah, there it is.